What's up, guys? It is the man with the hottest wheels, Cory Hot Wheelz, coming at you with another video. And this time we are going to be talking about the August 26th edition of West Virginia Wrestling Entertainment, the show where Cory Hot Wheelz made his debut. So, I'll talk about the matches in order. Well, you know what? Screw it. No, I won't. I'll just start talking. But, so, I'll talk about my match first. So, James and I came out and, Brock and Paul went out first, and, we started jawing back and forth. Brock was, wondering, it's like, what's he doing here? He has no business being here. And I'm like, dude, you put your hands on me on the last show, so yeah, I have every right to be there. So, we're going back and forth, and then Paul and I are, jawing during the match, and, and there was one time I slapped him, and then a little later I did it again. But one of the most funniest spots in the match was, James was leaning up against the ropes, and Brock had the referee distracted, and Paul was just rubbing his face on the ropes, and I'm like, I do a dead yard dash over there, and I'm like, get off of him! Leave your brother alone! And so as I'm doing that, my joystick lever falls off of my chair, and because Paul and I are on each other at this point, playing bumper cars, and so I'm standing there and I'm like, oh fuck, where did my chair thing go? And so I get back in my corner, and this one fan in the crowd, Jessica Benson's her name, finds it and gives it to Lester, who hands it to me. And so I'm, obviously I want to say thank you, so I just give a thumbs up that way, I don't break character. But, ultimately, the end of the match was, Brock cuts and was going for his signature elbow, and then Paul Io went to grab James Enoch's back, and I meet him, and we're having tug of war over it. It's like, nah, you ain't getting this, you ain't cheating. And, then, Brock comes over and starts arguing with me, and then James rolls him up for the win. And then Brock's standing outside, and, he's yelling at me, and Paul and him are grabbing my shirt again like they did it the first time, when I was sitting in the crowd. And then, Lester comes over and slaps Brock, and then was like, that's what you get for hitting a man in a wheelchair. And Lester punches him, and Brock's just laying on the ground. And I'm standing there. Paul and I are just standing there, Paul's just kind of looks a little dumbfounded, and I'm wanting to run over to him and be like, that's what you get. And so then, Brock gets up and he grabs the mic, starts yelling at me. I'm running around looking for a mic, because we had a wired one, but it didn't work, and I'm screaming. I'm like, where's a microphone? And Nicole was sitting at our announce table, and she's like, we don't have one. So I'm I get back to the locker room, I'm like, oh shit. I hope she didn't think I was screaming at her for a mic, but I was trying to sell it. But yeah, it was just, Oh God, it was an absolutely incredible experience. I mean, this is what I've wanted to do since I've been 11 years old, and it was just so incredible. Um, it is on Facebook. Um, I'm trying like hell to get it over here to YouTube, but it's being a little difficult. But anyway, being in the locker room with the guys was absolutely amazing. The guys were incredible, very, very welcoming, and Wildcat and I talked after the show, and he goes, "Hey, anytime you want to do it, come back." I'm like, "Hey, man, as long as you run a show, I'll be here to work it." So, I mean, I love that I found my home in WVWE. I mean, they have been freaking incredible to work for, and I thank them all so much for giving me the opportunity to live out my dream. But, with that being said, I did go on Facebook and watch the other matches because, I was in the locker room for the entire time, so I didn't get to see the other matches. Shout out to Damian Abel's wife, Brittany, for filming my match as well as the other matches on the show. So before my match, Sean Steele, the Promised Sean Steele, came out and cut a promo, saying that he missed all the fans, and issued an open challenge, which was answered by former hybrid champion Maverick, and they went back and forth for a while. Two of the best guys we have on our roster, in my opinion. And then the Syndicate came out, and Ryan Steele, hit Sean with like a code breaker on the ropes, and then Maverick hit the Famouser for the 1, 2, 3, and we have a new Mountain State champion in Maverick. So before the match, when Sean was cutting his promo, he said that he had a concussion and that WWE Medical wouldn't clear him. And then he also said that he had a grade 1 MCL tear, and it was almost a grade 2. So, Syndicate and Maverick locked Sean Steele's leg into a chair and then bashed it with another chair. And, Sean had to be helped to the back, so, who knows how long he's going to be out with this injury. But, and then, Taxi came out and issued a open challenge, but this time it was not for the hybrid title. It was if you beat him, then you got a shot at the hybrid title. So, Alan Platinum came out and, answered the open challenge, and, they went back and forth, and, and Alan's, as young as he is, he's only 18, is, greatly improving and, looking better and better each time he goes out to the ring. And, they went back and forth for a while, but ultimately it was Taxi's thrust kick finisher, I think that's what it's called, that got him the 1, 2, 3 and the win. So, we don't know who the next challenger is going to be for the hybrid title. So stay tuned to West Virginia Wrestling Entertainment's social media and attend the shows to find out. So, then when we came back from intermission, we had JC Grunge and Gino fight for the WVWE title. And, at the last show, Gino's manager hit JC Grunge, which allowed Gino to pick up the win and get the the WVWE title, after it was stripped from Prodigy, because Prodigy hasn't been here and, since he won the title in the first place. So Gino decided to, tell his manager to stay home because, Gino doesn't want to cheat, like he wants to do it the right way. So, these guys, when I went and watched that match, my God, it was a hell of a match. These two guys are just incredible in the ring, have phenomenal chemistry, and it was just absolutely amazing. And so, toward the end, Gino hit another spear on JC, and he picked him up for a suplex, and I'm like, oh God, is he going for a jackhammer? Because Goldberg, did the spear and then followed it up with the jackhammer for the finish. But it was honestly like a stalling suplex, kind of like what Bobby Lashley did for a finisher when he returned to WWE back in 2018. And that was, enough to get the 1, 2, 3 and Gino to retain the title. But boys, that was an absolutely phenomenal match. You guys absolutely killed it. And, WWE, just gets better and better each time, They're paying attention to what the fans want. And, it's an honor for me to now be a part of that, to be able to entertain the fans. So, it's just absolutely incredible. And then, for the main event, we had Damian Abel. Vincent Cross was not there. And so now he is defending the WWE Tag Team titles. Damian Abel, that is, by himself. So, then the Syndicate came out, which consists of Ryan Steele, Nate Steele, and Aaron James. So, they had a street fight, which was absolutely brutal. And, went back and forth. The Syndicate did use the numbers game, but, Damian Abel, proving what a beast that he is, defied the odds. And honestly, it was cool because, Ryan got up against this, paintball board thing from, a rage room. Excuse me. And Damian Abel hit a crossbody on him, which, was shades of what Bray Wyatt has done. And, then later on in the match, he hit his sister Abigail for the win, and I'm thinking, oh, hell yeah, that was awesome. And then, Maverick came out to return the favor from the Syndicate, helping him capture the Mountain State title earlier on in the night, and attack Damian Abel, and all four men, beat up Damian Abel. And then Taxi and Tyler Strategist came out, and the Syndicate and Maverick ran away. But I did forget to mention that we did do a 10-bell salute for Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. I did, for which, sitting in the crowd during a 10-bell salute gives you goosebumps. But, standing in front of the ring, leaning up against the ring with the rest of the locker room, one thing you will know about the wrestling community is it is a band of brothers. These guys, yeah, we go out and we beat the tar out of each other, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters at the end of it. And, doing a 10-bell salute for a couple brothers that, passed, and being a part of, the wrestling community, as a performer is just, it's bone-chilling. So, absolutely awesome show by WVWE. Again, thank you for letting me be a part of it. I look forward to doing many more shows with y'all, and Stay tuned. Wrestle Talk will be tomorrow. I will be exclusively covering All In and Emergence from later tonight. And then next week for Wrestle Talk, we will be exclusively covering the Payback pay-per-view. So stay tuned for those videos. And as always, guys, thank you for your continued support. The next WVWE show is September the 16th. And I will be once again accompanying James Enoch. And this time we will be in a street fight against Brock Hudson. And Paul Eo will once again be in his corner. So, really, really looking forward to that. And I will catch you guys in the next video and at WVWE.